Name is Blitz the Ambassador. I'm from Accra, Ghana. Born there. I live in New York City, Brooklyn.
I say you call a woman, African woman, no green. She go say.
Yes, I moved from Ghana to the United States around 2000, yes.
So what brought you there and why did you decide to make that move? How did it affect your career?
Yeah, well, I decided that I wanted to be a musician and specifically a hip hop artist. And I knew that there wasn't anywhere else in the world that I could be that would at least put me up against the best. And my theory is that if you want to be the best, you have to play with the best. But I'm from a very traditional African home, and just being a musician isn't something that you just tell your parents and they support. So I had to tell them I was going to the US to study, which I did, and I'm really grateful that I did because that ended up being a real advantage as an artist. I studied business management, and so that really helped me career-wise. But initially, of course, I wasn't thinking about that. I was thinking about being in New York, being an MC, and my ticket out was education.
I take advantage on the shit you take for granted. I'm shaking up the planet. Calgary, how you feeling?
I mean, there's plenty that I have not discovered yet. There's plenty that I have not done yet in terms of just artistically. My background, of course, growing up in Ghana and having so much influence from the contemporary music to more of the traditional music, I haven't even remotely begun to kind of find that I, bring all that out yet. So I'm working on a new record now, which is a bit of a departure from my last album, which is way more traditional and has way more traditional instruments. And after that, I don't know, I'll probably find another core piece that will be an inspiration. So there's plenty I haven't done, but it's still exciting because I know that because we're kind of charting our own path, our audience and our fans are flexible enough that they don't expect us to come the same way every time. They expect new things and new ideas, and that's the advantage of being independent. That's the advantage of really just being avant-garde. And as crazy gets, once you announce that up front, then people know to give you the leeway to be crazy. So
everybody get on down. I said do the hey, get it shaking, rock and roll. I said do the.
I mean, I've always been a visual artist from a kid. I mean, before I started making music, I drew a lot. And that's actually how I studied hours of, Rakim raps or Public Enemy raps or, I don't know, Tribe Called Quest raps, because I'll just be playing them while I drew, and I drew for hours. And so that kind of was something that I've always tried to figure out how to include in my work. And I've always designed my album covers. I've always kind of done that. But filmmaking was, to me at least, I think it's the kind of best meeting point for audio visuals. And it was a good advantage for me to not only show in music my ideas, but visually, and kind of was able to bring it all together. So yeah, it's a fun experience. And also shooting in Accra, which is like, something that I hold very near and dear, primarily because the audience have a very skewed view of Africa, and often, just the visuals are not appealing. And so for me, it was really just going, and more than necessarily the storyline, it was about trying to find the visuals that were stunning, and it wasn't difficult to do. I I recently just played the Vancouver Folk Fest, which is my first folk festival actually. That was about 2 weeks ago, and it was an interesting experience. The workshops are great. I mean, you get to jam with people that some of them you don't even know, but you find out about, and it is a true honor to do it. This is my first time in Calgary. I've never been to Calgary, so yeah.
So what's your impressions of Calgary?
So far, so good. I love it. It's very chill, and I think that goes for the most of Canada. And I think that what's really similar for all of them is just the audience are really into the music, and that's rare in a lot of places that I've been, which is kind of across the board in Canada. So it's great.
All you gotta do is